A blessed day, everybody. So today, our lecture is about Introduction to Nutrition. So this is the outline of my presentation. We will discuss definition of terms, the meaning and importance of nutrition, and nutritional physiology. So of course, yung mga terms, we will define terms that are commonly used in the study of nutrition. So let us define health. Of course, I'm sure you have your own definition of health. But according to WHO, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. This means that having a good health also requires management of stress that might later on lead into illness. Okay. So WHO asserts that improving and maintaining good health can be achieved through healthy lifestyle. Okay, healthy living. For example, eating nutritious food, eating the right food, and do exercise. Okay. So let us define nutrition. It is the science of food and their components, the nutrients and other substances, including the relationship to health and diseases. So pinag-aaralan natin dito sa nutrition. So what is the relationship of the food into our health? Yung itong food ba na to nagbibigay sa atin ng good health or nagbibigay ng illness? So what are the processes that happens inside your body once you eat the food? Okay. The social, economic, cultural, and psychological implications to eating. So halimbawa sa social, okay, laging may bonding with friends, okay, laging nagsasamgyupsal. So what will you think? What will happen to your body? Diba? Are you eating the nutritious food? If you remember, I know na merong nangyari sa Chinese Gen last year, although I'm not really sure kung yun ba talaga yung cause, pero sabi nila may isang student na namatay, na ang sabi nila, sa dorm niya, no, nakita siyang patay na, ang sabi nila, yung bata daw na yun, ilang araw na kumakain ng samgyupsal. So, possible, pancreatitis ang ikinamatay niya. Or, although, hindi ko pa alam kung ano talaga yung totoo. So, yun kasi ang pwedeng mangyari kung yung kain tayo ng kain ng mga fats or busog, sobra yung kinakain. So, economic. Ito yung sinasabi natin, halimbawa, medyo may kaya ka. So, ang food na piniprepare ninyo is puro masasarap na pagkain. So, usually, pag masasarap na pagkain, mga fatty food, ito maraming, is that really that nutritious? Depende rin, no? Kung rich ka, depende rin kung nutritious ba pipiliin mo or mas gusto mo na order ka na lang ng order ng fast food. Yan. Or kung pag medyo poor naman yung isang tao, baka naman ang usual na kinakain niya ay asin na lang. Okay. Or noodles, walang masyadong makain, kaya malnourished naman. So, may implications tong social, economic, cultural. So, ano naman yung cultural? So, ano yung culture? Ang usual practice nila. Halimbawa, Filipino, the usual practice of the Filipino, ang madalas natin kainin is rice. O, pag Chinese, noodles. Diba? Korean, kimchi, or ano ba. So, may mga kanya-kanya tayong kinakain. So, depende sa kinakain natin, kung ano daw yung common na kinakain ng culture, yun din yung common na, doon natin makikita kung ano yung health nila, or kung ano yung common diseases na nila. Yung psychological implications naman, diba? Pag halimbawa nagda-diet ka na talaga, or meron certain na diseases, yung mga anorexia nervosa, ganyan, yung sakit na kahit na sobrang tapayat na, butot balat na, ang tingin pa rin niya sa kanyang sarili is very fat pa rin siya. So, even water, ayaw niya nang uminom ng tubig, kaya nagli-lead to dehydration na. So, may psychological implications to eating, no? Yan. Then, another definition, nutrition is the relationship of foods to health of the human body. And this concerns the actions, the interactions, and balances of nutrients. So, ano ba yung actions, interactions, of course, ito na yung pag kumain ka, ano bang mangyayari, ano bang ina-absorb na yung body, ano mga vitamins na na-absorb niya, may vitamins ba yung food na kinakain mo, okay? Yung balance ba yung nutrients na kailangan ng yung body, balance ba yung carbohydrates, yung protein, yung fats na kailangan ng yung body. The processes within the body include ingestion. Ito yung pagkain mo, pag-enter ng food inside your mouth. It will pass through your esophagus, then digestion, doon sa stomach mo, absorption, so ina-absorb ng intestine mo, ina-absorb ng iyong small intestine, anong ina-absorb ng large intestine, tapos, nami-metabolize ba ng iyong body yung kinakain mo or na-absorb ba ng cell mo? Okay. And excretion of the end products. Of course, yung mga waste product. So, alam nyo na yan. So, nutrition is the study of how food nourishes the body. So, paano siya? Paano ba nina-nourish ng food? It is based on the food requirements of human for energy, for growth, for maintenance, reproduction, and lactation. So, titingnan natin kung ano ba yung requirements ng human body. So, kaya nga chine-check natin yung kanyang kinukuha natin yung kanyang weight, kinukuha natin yung kanyang age, yung kanyang height, kung ano yung dapat yung kinakain, or kung ano yung dapat na diet for that specific individual, ano yung nutritional needs niya. So, for maintenance of reproduction, especially for those pregnant women at yung mga nagpapadede. So, mas may kailangan pa silang additional nutrients. Okay? So, according to Rinsler, 2004, nutrition equals to life. Diba? So, kung anong kinakain mo, kung gusto mo humaba ang buhay mo, so you have to eat nutritious food. Yan. So, don't forget, you are what you eat. So, kung ano palang kinakain mo, kaya pala ganito yung katawan ko, mahilig ako sa baboy, kaya baboy na, no? So, I need to eat a skinny person para pumayat ako. Baduy ni ma'am. Okay. The function of nutrition. So, the basic function of nutrition is to maintain life. Diba? By allowing one to grow and be in state of optimum health, highest level of health, diba? So, ito talaga yung dapat healthy ka talaga, okay? Siyempre, kailangan mo ng nutrition para kung bata ka, lumaki ka, okay? Tapos, reasons, hindi lang naman kung matanda ka na, of course, para ma-maintain yung health mo, para mabuhay ka pa. So, these are, the following are the reasons why nutritional science is applied to nursing care. Bakit natin kailangan pag-aralan ang nutrition? Bakit kailangan isama sa ating nursing care? Because we recognize the role of nutrition in preventing diseases or illnesses. So, may mga nangyayari pala, no? May kinalaman ang food sa illness. So, kung ano, as I mentioned earlier, kung ano yung madalas mong kinakain. So, pwede siyang mag-lead into illness or pwede siyang magbigay sa iyo ng magandang kalusugan. And, the concern for adapting food patterns of individuals to their nutritional needs within the framework of their cultural, economic, and psychological situation and style. So, syempre, as a nurse, of course, pag nag-prepare na kayo ng meal for your patient, halimbawa, tulad na lang ng task na papagawa ko sa inyo that you have to prepare the meal plan, of course, dapat nakapasok siya dito sa framework of their cultural. Ano ba yung culture na madalas din ang kinakain? Baka mamaya, pinaghahanda mo yan, pinagra-rice mo yan, hindi naman pala sila mahilig kumain ng rice. Or, sa economic naman, gumawa ka, nag-prepare ka ng meal plan. Ang iyong patient is hypertensive patient, halimbawa, ang patient mo ay janitor. Okay. Tapos yung order mo, yung meal plan mo, kailangan salmon, yung kanyang food, 1 slice of salmon. You have to consider kung ano yung economic status ng patient, di ba? Kung kaya niya bang bilhin yun. And psychological situation and style. So, ano ba yung pananaw niya? Ano ba yung thinking ng tao about food. Ano ba yung style of eating nila? Kailangan, nakapattern pa rin doon. Although, if i-prepare mo is nutritious, but, nakapattern doon para ma-accept nila, para mas kakainin nila. And the awareness of the need and specified disease states to modify nutritional factors for therapeutic purposes. So, nalaman natin na, yun nga, yung food, meron siyang kinalaman sa health. So, kailangan natin i-examine, kailangan natin tingnan, kailangan ng laboratories ng patient. So, kailangan malaman natin, ay, ito yung kailangan iayos natin yung kanyang diet. So, kailangan, ito na yung i-compute na natin ngayon kung ano yung nutritional needs niya, ilan ang carbohydrates, ilan ang protein, ilan lang yung needs niyang fat. So, i-compute natin yan. So, proper nutrition is observed by eating the right kind and amount of food at the right time. So, parang proper yung nutrition, of course, right kind. Ano ba yung right kind? So, hindi naman pwedeng sabihin ko lang, sige, puro ka na lang gulay ka lang. Naman, bakit yung mga vegetarian, gulay lang naman talaga sila? Pero, you have to remember, no, na kailangan din natin ng meat, kailangan din natin ng protein, para, of course, ma-provide yung kailangan na nutrients ng iyong body. So, again, of course, dapat right kind. Tama yung, ano ba yung kind? Dapat may gulay, may meat, may carbohydrates din. Of course, dapat balance yan, no? And right din yung amount. Hindi yung, oo nga, puro gulay ka, sobrang daming gulay. Or rice, sobrang daming rice. Or protein, sobrang dami naman. So, dapat tama yung amount. And of course, at the right time. Hindi yung oras-oras or every 30 minutes ka na lang kakain. So, yan. So, ito, pang ano lang, no? Ay, catcher. When you tell people that you're a dietitian students, ayan, pag alam nila yan, ng mga ate mo, ng mami mo, na ikaw ay nag-aaral ng nutrition, mamaya lang, sabihin na nila sa'yo, ipag-ready mo sila ng meal plan. Okay, para pumayat. Okay. So, another terms, of course, food refers to any substance that can be organic or inorganic when ingested or eaten, nourishes the body by building and repairing tissues, supplying heat and energy, and regulating bodily processes. So, yung definition natin ng food, hindi lang yung basta nabusog ka lang. So, dapat, yung food, nag-nourish siya sa body mo, sa needs ng yung body. So, kung halimbawa, may sakit, so, para mas mapabilis ang paggaling, so dapat, or may surgery, or nag-undergo ng surgical procedure, so, kailangan niya ng protein para ma-repair yung tissue, or kailangan mo ng energy, kailangan mong lumakad, o kailangan mong maglakad-lakad, kailangan mong kumilos, kailangan mong mag-aral, so, kailangan mo ng energy. Yan. Food must have the following qualities. It must be safe to eat. Of course, dapat malinis yan. Okay, malinis ang food, maayos ang pagkakaluto. Then, it is nourishing or nutritious. So, dapat, it contain the proper nutrients that your body needs. Its palatability factors satisfy the customer. So, or the consumer. Okay? So, dapat, ano rin to, parang nakakabusog din. Minsan kasi pag walang lasa, di ba, yung food, kahit dami mong kainin, hindi ka pa rin nabusog. It has satiety value. It offers variety and planned within the socio-economic context. Tulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, yung variety, of course, dapat it contain protein. So, saan mo ba nakukuha ang protein? Of course, sabi ko kanina sa meat. May mga protein yan. Or then, siyempre, hindi lang meat, no? Marami namang sources of protein. Diba? Then, meron kang rice or carbohydrates yun. Meron kang fats. So, kailangan yun. Kompleto yun. So, may gulay ka. Yan. It offers and planned within the socio-economic context. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina, nga pag gumawa kayo ng meal plan, of course, yung kaya ng pasyente or napapasok sa budget ng patient. It is free from toxic agents or does not contain substances deemed deleterious to health. O ano yun, baka mamaya yung pagkain na yun, hindi ka sigurado, may mga toxic pa lang agents, ano ba yung mga ginagamit noon. So, ano ba yung mga usual na food na sinasabi nilang hindi ganun ka-safe? Yung mga tulad nga ng mga processed food, di ba? Meron daw yung later on, hindi siya maganda sa health kasi may mga ingredients dyan na hindi maganda sa health. So, kapag nag-prepare kayo ng meal plan for your patient, dapat iwasan natin ang processed food. Okay? Laughter is brightest, where food is best. O, diba? O, ito yon yung nagsasamgyupsal kayo kasama ng mga kaibigan mo, o pagkatapos ng pandemic na to, mag-aano kayo, bonding kayo, magsasamgyup ulit, diba? Mas masaya. Masaya ang tawanan pag masarap yung pinagsasaluhan. Diba? Okay. Pero you have to remember na yung tulad ng mention ko sa inyo kanina, na dapat, of course, yung kinakain natin, pwede naman, hindi naman sinasabing bawal magsamgyup. Ako nagsasamgyup din naman ako. Pero of course, dapat ililimit lang natin, no? Hindi naman palagi or araw-araw. So, another terms, itong nutrients na kanina pa natin paulit-ulit na nami-mention. This refers to the chemical substances that could be organic or inorganic that can be found in food. These nutrients supply heat and energy. So, ito yung pinaka-fuel ng ating body, di ba? Kung ang sasakyan, mapapatakbo mo ang sasakyan using gasoline, using gas, okay? So, the same with our body, but yung body natin, iba, no? So, syempre, iba tayo. Kailangan natin ng food. Yung food ang ating source of energy. So, it builds and repairs cells and tissues. Itong katulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo kanina. So, kailangan mo, para lalo na pag bata pa, so kailangan may protein content yung kinakain niya para lumaki naman siya, hindi siya maging pandak. So, regulate life processes. Okay? So, ito yung mga kailangan mo ng mga gulay, pampadagdag, pampalakas ng iyong katawan. Okay. So, nutrients categories. So, it is categorized. Ito yung sinabi natin kanina, organic and inorganic compounds. So, under organic compounds are the carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins, yan yun. So, inorganic elements naman are the minerals and water. So, each of these, later in our next discussions, i-discuss na natin to, isa-isahin na natin yan. What are the sources? What is the function? How much does the body needs of the following? So, we have to compute it later. And, nutrient classification. So, according to function. So, kinaklasify din siya according to function. Now, merong 3 function. So, energy giving, body building, and body regulating. So, yung energy giving, it furnished energy. So, ano yun ang mga food na example ng energy giving? Ito nga yung sinasabi ko kanina. Ito yung, halimbawa, brown rice, banana, yan. More of carbohydrates to. Kung naalala nyo yung inyong go, glow, grow foods, ito yung go foods. Body building. They form tissues in the body. So, nakuha nyo na to kanina. Na-mention ko na to before in the previous slides. Okay? Tulad ng protein nga. Body regulating. It maintain the normal physiologic processes of the body. So, these are your fruits and vegetables. Okay. Then, according to chemical structure. So, could be organic and inorganic. So, nandun na rin to sa previous slides kanina at ito yung example ng inyong organic nutrients and inorganic nutrients. Okay? Then, according to essentiality, meron tayong essential nutrient and non-essential nutrient. So, when we say essential nutrient, these are when the body requires a nutrient for growth or for maintenance, but lacks the ability to manufacture amount sufficient to meet the body's needs must be supplied in the diet. So, kailangan natin kumain para makuha natin yung mga essential nutrients that are necessary for our body to function. So, may mga non-essential nutrients din. Ano ba yung mga non-essential nutrients na yan? Like fiber, alanine, may mga ganun. So, later, meron din yan sa mga next na discussion natin. Isa-isahin din yan kung ano-ano yung mga non-essential na yan. So, ito yung nutrients that the body can make on its own. So, nagagawa ng body to in a certain amount na pwede naman siyang nagagawa lang siya. So, namamanufacture ng iyong sariling body. So, these are the essential nutrients for human being. Of course, for human being, kasi iba din yung nutrients na kailangan ng ibang animals. Ito yung mga carbohydrates, lipids, protein. So, these are the sources. For carbohydrates, of course, ang source is from glucose. Saan mo naman makukuha ang glucose? Minsan, makukuha mo yan, di ba, glucose is sa sugar, sa starch. Ayan. Lipids, fats, linoleic acid, protein from amino acids like histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, metathione, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, valine, and your vitamins. Under your vitamins, mayroong dalawang classification: fat-soluble vitamins and the water-soluble vitamins. So, anong pinagkaiba nila? Later din, i-discuss din yan sa susunod nating mga discussions. So, ano lang ito? Summary, or para mas madali nyong tandaan kung ano-ano yung mga water-soluble vitamins, ano yung fat-soluble vitamins. Okay? Then, minerals. So, saan ang gagaling ang minerals? Can be from yung major minerals from calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, sulfur, chlorine, magnesium. Trace minerals naman, chromium, cobalt, copper, fluorine, iodine, iron, manganese, selenium, zinc. In water, so alam niyo naman kung nasaan ang water. Diba? May mga minerals din yun. Nutrient classification according to concentration. So, some nutrients are needed in large amounts than others. So, meron tayong tinatawag na macronutrients and micronutrients. From the word macro, of course, malaki, diba? Are nutrients which the body needs in amounts of 1 or more per day. So, these are water, protein, fats, and carbohydrates. What about your micronutrients? It is present in a minute amounts less than 1 gram. It includes all vitamins and trace minerals. So, essential nutrients cannot be manufactured in the body in adequate amounts needed for specific functions. Is linked to a specific deficiency diseases like kwashiorkor or protein deficiency, scurvy, or vitamin C deficiency. So, kapag kulang yung nutrients sa body, so ito yung pwedeng mangyari. Sobrang wala talagang kinain na protein. Sobrang wala talagang protein na nakakain itong batang to. Usually, ito lang talaga yung sa medyo nakikita natin to common talaga dun sa mga sobrang poor area. Not all nutrients are essential for a species of animals. The study of essentiality for nutrient is of course a continuous process. So hanggang ngayon, patuloy pa rin niyang pinag-aaralan. Kasi alam naman natin na nagbabago ang ating panahon, nagbabago ang mga nandyan sa paligid natin, even the virus, nagbabago. So nagbabago rin ang ating mga needs, specifically sa nutrients. Okay, so this is the example of kwashiorkor, no? Yung kulang sa protein, no? Ganyan ang itsura ng may kwashiorkor. Merong producing belly or protruding belly, brownish hair, dark and scaly skin, stunted growth, Hindi halos di tumubo, underweight sila, pero ganyan ang tingnan mo, ang tiyan lang yung lumaki. Swollen legs, loss of appetite, anemia, may mental retardation, and reduced resistance. Mali pa yung spelling, no? Okay. So, vitamin C deficiency. So, ito naman yung scurvy kanina, nasabi natin, no? A deficiency of vitamin C may lead to a condition called scurvy, characterized by weakness, anemia, bruising, and bleeding of the gums, and loss of teeth kapag kulang sa mga essential nutrients. So, another term is the nutriture or nutritional status. Okay. This refers to the condition of how well-nourished the human body. Depends on several criteria such as the physical signs and symptoms of good nutrition. So, ano ba yung mga physical signs and symptoms of good nutrition? So, you have to get tulad kanina, di ba nakita natin sa kwashiorkor, ano ba yung mga nakikita sa kwashiorkor? So, yun yung mga physical signs. Yung lumalaki ang tiyan, underweight, or titingnan natin kung mga physical signs ba, kung overweight ba yung patient. So, medical history, madalas ba, ano bang sakit ni patient na nakikita mo? Sa blood, makikita rin ang urine test, kung ano yung mga nutrient na kulang sa pasyente. Anatomical changes seen in imaging or x-rays and other medical instruments. So, may mga nagbabago doon sa bone, may makikita tayo sa organs kung merong problem. Okay. History of dietary intake up to the current food habit. Ano ba yung history niya? Ano ba yung madalas niyang kinakain? Tuwing anong oras ba siya kumakain? Ano yung food na kinakain niya? So, usually, ito yung magre-recall sila, food recall, kung ano yung kinain mo kahapon, ano yung breakfast mo, ano yung lunch, ano yung dinner. So, titingnan natin kung ano ang kanyang practice. So, another term is malnutrition. When you say malnutrition, di ba parang before, pag sinabi natin malnourished, parang ang pumapasok agad sa utak mo, malnourished, yung payat lang, no, kulang. Yun yung pumapasok sa'yo. But the term malnutrition refers to undesirable state of one's health, which could either be an undernourished or overnourished individual, like what you can see in the picture. So, di ba, yung sobrang hirap, poverty in the most of the world. So, ganito daw ang poverty in the most of the world. Ganun ang itsura. But, try to compare it, the poverty in America, no? So, wala. Parang ano lang yan, pampatawa lang yan. Pero hindi kayo natatawa, di ba? Okay. So, malnutrition is the opposite of good nutrition. Siyempre, opposite siya kasi malnourished nga. It is a condition due to lack or excess or imbalance in one or more of the nutrients. So, kaya nagkaroon ng undernutrition kasi kulang yung nutrients na necessary sa kanyang body. Or nagkaroon ng overnourished naman siya kasi sobra-sobra yung kinakain niya. Sobra-sobra yung nutrients na kinakain niya more than the need of her or his body. Okay. Ito na naman, no? Kasi pag pinag-aaralan natin ng nutrition, kahit ako, nagigilty ako dahil sobrang bigat ko na ngayon. So, nadidepress lang ako actually pag tumitingin ako sa weighing scale, kaya hanggang nasira na lang yung weighing scale, kaka-weight ko, no? So, ganito daw yung proper way of weighing yourself para hindi ka ma-depress. Okay. So, once nutrition, of course, pag sinabi natin good nutrition leads to good health, of course. Pag good health, of course, absence of disease. Okay, walang mga sakit-sakit. Then, good nutrition, meron siyang mga effect yung nutrition, no? May mga effect siya sa spiritual, emotional, intellectual, physical, and social. Of course, yung good health, ang opposite niyan is malnutrition. Okay, na kailangan mo ng rehabilitation or if not, it may lead to death, 'di ba? Pwedeng ikamatay. Katulad na lang ng mga na-stroke, 'di ba? Mga na-stroke kasi yung madalas na kinakain, parang ako nahihilo-hilo na rin ako parang napapadalas na rin yung kain ko ng taba, 'di ba? Yun. So, can you see the difference? Okay. So, tingnan nyo nga. So, obvious naman, ma'am. What's the difference? Of course, ito yung undernourished, overnourished. Ito yung healthy, diba? Ito yung healthy babe, healthy kid. Okay. Yan. So, when you say undernutrition, of course, it lack one or more nutrients. Ano nga yung mga nutrients na sinasabi natin kanina? The essential, the non-essential, especially yung mga macronutrients, yun, mga kulang siya doon. Under consumption of energy of nutrients based on recommended dietary allowance. So, paano po yung recommended dietary allowance? So, later, may mga computation na tayo on your next session. Overnutrition, excess of one or more nutrients. So, sobra-sobra sa dami ng kinain mo. Consumption of too much nutrients and too much energy compared to ano yung required, ano yung kailangan, dietary reference intake or DRI levels. Okay, nakakapagod mag-aral ng nutrition, no? Nakakapagod mag-aral ng nursing. Sabi nga nila, I believe that the word studying was derived from the word students dying. Hindi lang kayo, ako rin. Nakakapagod rin mag-aral. Okay, so factors affecting nutritional status. The primary factors. It refers to the inadequate or faulty diet. Could be because of the following. Because of poverty, ignorance. Paano yung ignorance? So, yung poverty, obviously naman, alam nyo kung bakit. Pag poverty, syempre, hindi nila kayang bumili ng nutritious food. Hindi, di ba, kahit gulay ngayon, ang mamahal na ng mga gulay, di ba? Pag bumili ka, kahit saging nga, magkano na yung kilo. Di ba? So, ignorance. Ano naman yung ignorance? Hindi niya alam kung ano yung kinakain niya. Basta food lang. Basta nabubusog lang siya. Okay, hindi niya alam kung malinis ba yan o hindi, or kailangan man lang body yan o hindi. Poor food habit. Ano ba yung poor food habit? So, madalas kainin chicharon, yan. Or fatty foods, yan. Limited food supply due to overpopulation or low food production or poor distribution of food. So, halimbawa, nagkulang na talaga sa isang lugar na yun. Or, di ba, katulad nung nangyari nung nag-lockdown, no? Diba? Parang ang dami rin talagang kawawa. Ang daming hindi nakakain. Kasi, nawala ng trabaho. Tapos, ang dami ng population sa Pilipinas. Hindi kayang supplyan ang ating government. Tapos, ano yung poor distribution? Hindi na didistribute ng maayos yung mga, ano ba yan? Yung mga bigay ng, yung mga ayuda. Ayan. So, secondary factors are multiple and include all conditions within the body that reduce the ultimate supply of nutrients to the cells after the food goes beyond the mouth. So, itong mga secondary factors may be due to illness. Like, for example, may problem or stomach problem, may ulcer, or yung pinakamasakit, mayroong cancer yung patient. Siyempre, pag may cancer yung patient, nagkakaroon na rin yung system niya, nawawala na siya ng appetite, dahil may nangyayari within the body. So, ito yung factors kung bakit hindi siya makakain ng maayos. Diba? Naririnig nyo kapag may cancer yung pasyente, nag-undergo ng chemotherapy, nawawalan ng ganang kumain. Yun yung mga secondary factors. So, these are the methods of evaluating nutriture. So, paano natin ma-evaluate yung nutriture? Kung yung health niya, kung okay pa ba, good ba yung health niya? We can do it by dietary survey. So, paano yun? It's a method of collecting information regarding actual and habitual dietary intake. So, the method used is 24-hour recall. So, ano yung 24-hour recall? Naalala ko to, no? Dahil sa thyroid ko at lumalaki-laki na rin ako, tumataba ako ng konti. So, nung nagpa-check ako, sabi ng ano ko, naku, sobrang overweight ka na. So, sabi niya, overweight ka na. So, kailangan na yung diet baguhin. Pero ang hirap talagang baguhin ng diet. Kailangan yung fats, ganito lang, yung kakainin mo, napakahirap sundin. So, sabi niya, na-recall niya muna ako nung jabis, binasulat ko ano yung kinain ko kahapon, ng breakfast. Gabi na ngayon, di ba? Anong kinain ko kahapon ng breakfast? Nagmerienda ba ako after breakfast? Ano yung kinain ko ng lunch? Ano yung merienda ko? Ano yung dinner ko? Tapos ano ulit yung breakfast ko kaninang umaga? Kasi 24 hour nga. So, titingnan yun. Kasi from there, makikita nila kung ano pala yung practice mo, ano pala yung habitual na kinakain mo. Okay? Then, food records. Another, measure food records over 1 to 7 days. So, babalikan or i-record mo yung mga kinakain mo from day 1 to day 7. So, kailangan, i-record nila yan. Kasi from there, nakikita ng mga dietitian kung ano nga talaga yung habitual na kinakain mo. Kung ano yung actual, diba? Actual na kinakain mo talaga. Okay. Sabi ni nutritionist, you should eat 1,200 calories a day. Diba? Yung mga piloso po sabihin niya, okay, ilan naman sa gabi? Kasi sabi mo, a day, araw lang yun diba? So, syempre, para makalusot ka, kasi nga, hindi mo kaya yung 1-2 lang, napakakunti lang nun. Okay. Another method of evaluating nutrition, anthropometric measurement. Ito yun. Measuring the height, the weight, the limb. So, titingnan yung mga circumference. No, laki na ng braso ko. The limb circumference of an individual and comparing those dimensions with national standards to determine healthy growth pattern. So, meron tayong national standards. No? So, titingnan natin yung timbang, yung weight, kung tama pa ba. Yun nga, doon natin makikita kung overweight na or obese na. Siguro ako ngayon hindi na overweight, obese na talaga. Okay, so, ito yung example ng ating recording, no? From CDC, from birth to 39 months. This is just for boys. Okay, nakalagay dyan, boys. Okay, so, nakalagay din dito yung kung paano mo i-record, kung ano yung weight niya, kung ano yung length niya. Ayan, so, nire-record natin yan para ma-monitor yung growth ng bata. Sa medical or clinical history, the medical examination of the patient from head to foot. Di ba na physical assessment na kayo? So, ito na yun. Titignan mo yung mouth. Kaya lang, during your physical assessment, ang tinitingnan natin yung mga normal lang. So, kaya kailangan alam nyo yung normal para alam nyo kung yung kasi ito yung normal na nakikita mo. Ito yung sinasabi ni ma'am na normal. Pero ito, nakita ko mali na abnormal na to. So, mouth, eye, tongue, skin, gum, hair changes, okay, will help detect signs of associated with malnutrition. So, makikita mo dyan, kung very dry yung eyes niya nangingitim, diba? Yung tongue, so may mga yan, may masasabi mo, kulang siya sa nutrition. Clinical observations are limited in value because overt symptoms of nutrient deficiencies would not become apparent. Sorry for the spelling. Until late stages of deficiencies. So, kailangan maayos yung observation mo, clinical observations mo. Kailangan mas kitang-kita mo yan kasi mas pangit naman kung late na, di ba? Late na sobrang late ka na, nagkaroon na ng matinding problems, health problem ang patient. Example, no? Ito yung methods of evaluating nutrition sa eyes. Sa eyes, anong makikita mo? Clinical signs. Ito yung clinical signs. Pale conjunctiva. Diba? Doon sa normal health assessment natin, diba? Pink conjunctiva. Inakita mo, pale conjunctiva. Ano ang deficiency niya? Could be iron or vitamin B12 deficiency. Yan. Sa tongue. Kita mo yung tongue. Ano ba dapat ang color ng tongue? Naalala nyo, pinahawak-hawakan ko pa sa inyo yung tongue. So, di ba, dapat may pagka-pinkish yun. Ngayon, magenta tongue. Okay. Anong characteristic ng magenta tongue? Purple-red in color with morphological changes. So, naiiba yung itsura niya. Could be, anong problem nun? Could be riboflavin deficiency. Okay? So, another method of evaluating nutrition. So, biochemical test. Okay. These include analysis of samples of body tissues such as blood or urine tests to assess the body uses nutrients. So, tinitingnan nandito yung blood. Magpapa-urine test na, may specific pa yan. Depende sa doktor yan. May mga tawag pa dun sa mga test na yun, yung blood test, urine test, para makita kung how your body process nutrients, kung na-absorb ng cell o hindi. Ayan. So, nutrient distribution in the body. You have to remember this rule. Ito yung normal dapat na distribution ng nutrient into your body for normal weight adult. Yung rule daw na 60-20-20. So, ano yung 60? So, mas malaki ang kailangan ng yung body ng water. So, that is 60%. For fat and lipids, dapat 20% lang yan. Ma'am, paano natin kukwentahin yan? Later na naman ulit. Meron tayong computation. So, babalikan nyo ulit to. Okay, protein, carbohydrates, minerals, and vitamins. So, 20% ang kailangan ng iyong body. Okay. The scope of nutrition and its relationship with other disciples. So, bakit ba pinag-aaralan to, no? Kasi, may relationship tong nutrition to physical sciences, biological sciences, and behavioral sciences. So, in physical sciences, using chemicals provided by foods. Okay, so yung mga chemical na nakukuha natin sa food, so yung body natin sa physical sciences, ito yung mas pinofocus nila. So biological sciences, how nutrition relates with body functioning to promote health and well-being. So paano ba ang nutrition na paano niya na i-promote, no, yung health mo and wellness. Behavioral sciences, how nutrition is interwoven with our unique nature as human being. So, may relationship yung nutrition into the following disciples. So, nutritional physiology, which deals with biological processes of how the structural parts of the body works. So, nutrition physiology. So, di ba, parang naral nyo na yun sa anatomy and physiology. So, ano ang ginagawa? Ano ang mga biological processes? What happened inside the body? Di ba? How the body transform food substances for the maintenance of life, growth, and normal functioning of the organs and production of energy. So, this is very self-explanatory. Okay, so ito yung cell mo. Of course, your cell, our human body is made up of trillion cells. Diba? Trillion cells yan. Kaya nabuo yung body mo. Your body is made up of trillion cells. Each cells, of course, requires nutrients for energy. Diba? Nag-require siya ng nutrients. Para kailangan mo ng energy para mabuhay ka. Like, what? Oxygen and water kailangan din ng iyong cell. Para ito ay hindi siya magkasakit, buhay siya, healthy siya. So, para yung body mo ay healthy rin siya. Okay. What happens to your body when you eat? Okay. So, hindi ko na siguro isa-isahin to. What is the function? Anong ginagawa ni mouth, the esophagus, the stomach? Kasi I have my video presentation later. So, same lang din ito. So, pilian nyo na lang kung anong mas madali sa inyong pag-aral. Okay? Which is more easier for you to remember. Yung isa ba kanina, si Biba ba, or this diagram. So, this is the video presentation, no? Okay.
Our digestive system is made up of a series of organs that allows our body to get the nutrients and energy it needs from the food we eat. Digestion starts in the mouth, where chewing and saliva breaks down food so it is more easily processed by your body. Once you swallow, the food enters the esophagus, which is a muscular tube that connects the pharynx, or throat, to the stomach. The esophagus contracts as it moves food into the stomach. A valve called the lower esophageal sphincter, or LES, is located just before the opening to the stomach. This valve opens to let food pass into the stomach from the esophagus, and it prevents food from moving back up into the esophagus from the stomach. Next is the stomach, an organ with strong muscular walls. It holds the food and mixes it with acid and enzymes that continue to break the food down into a liquid or paste. Almost 20 feet long, the small intestine, also called the small bowel, is the workhorse of the digestive system. It will continue to break down food with enzymes released by the pancreas and bile released from the liver. It is made up of 3 segments: the duodenum, which continues the breakdown of food, and the jejunum and ileum, which are mainly responsible for the absorption of nutrients. Aiding the digestive process is the pancreas. Among its other functions, the pancreas helps digestion by producing digestive enzymes and secreting them into the duodenum, the first segment of the small intestine. These enzymes break down protein, fats, and carbohydrates. The liver is another organ with many functions. Its main responsibilities in the digestive process are to make and secrete bile, and to process and purify the blood, which contains newly absorbed nutrients that are coming from the small intestine. Bile has 2 main purposes: to help absorb fats and to carry waste from the liver that cannot pass through the kidneys. Bile made in the liver travels to the small intestine through bile ducts. If the bile isn't needed immediately, it is stored in the gallbladder, which is a pear-shaped reservoir located just under the liver. The gallbladder sends this stored bile into the small intestine to aid in the digestion of food. Next along the journey is the colon, or large intestine. It is a 5 to 7 foot long muscular tube that connects the small intestine to the rectum and is responsible for processing waste so that defecation is easy and convenient. The rectum is an 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus. The rectum receives stool from the colon, sends signals to the brain if there is stool to be evacuated, and holds stool until evacuation can happen. The last part of the digestive tract, the anus, consists of pelvic floor muscles and 2 anal sphincters, internal and external. Together, their jobs are to detect contents in the rectum, determine whether the contents are liquid, gas, or solid, and then control when stool should or shouldn't be excreted from the body. It's useful to understand the digestive system and the role it plays in your overall health and well-being. Knowing where to go when conditions of the digestive system affect your health and well-being is just as important. The University of Michigan Health System is home to one of the largest digestive health and liver disease programs in the country, providing prevention.
Okay, so let's proceed. So, nakita nyo na yun what happened to the body when you eat food, or anong nangyayari sa food, diba? What are the processes? Okay, so pop quiz tayo. Question: this is a report on what an individual ate during the previous 24 hours. Ano ba yun? Anyone can guess? Okay, so isipin mo muna before you move on to the next slides. Tingnan natin if you really listen to my discussion. Okay, this is the answer, of course. 24-hour recall. So, congratulations if you get the right answer. So, this is the summary of digestion, kung saan napupunta, kung ano yung sa stomach, yan, ano yung mga substances na ina-absorb doon. So, na-mention na rin yan kanina doon sa video. So, para lang din sa, for your reference lang din, so pwede nyong balikan later or basahin yung slides, kung ano-ano yung mga organs, ano-ano yung mga sinisecrete ng organs na yun, what are the functions, what are the substances. So, hindi ko na siguro isa-isahin pa ang mga to. Okay? Kasi meron na rin kayong background doon sa video kanina. Okay? I will attach another PPT, yung plain PowerPoint lang, para mas madali nyo rin basahin kung gusto nyo lang basahin. Okay? So, ito yung mga functions. So, if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, of course, no one can stop you. Just like our situation now, 'di ba? So wala kaming control, hindi namin kayo nakikita. If you really study the materials that we sent to you, if you really watch the videos or if you read the PowerPoint that we sent to you, it's up to you, no? It's up to you. If you really want to learn, of course, you have to do your part. So another term here is the metabolism. So metabolism derived from the Greek word metabolismos, which means to change or to alter. It is a chemical processes of transforming food into complex tissue elements and of transforming complex body substances into simple ones, along with the production of heat and energy. So, na sinasabi nila, pag tumatanda na, bumabagal na ang metabolism, hindi na ganun ka bilis ang metabolism, kaya ganun, ibig sabihin, hindi na rin pumapayat, lalong tumataba kasi yung hindi na may metabolize ng maayos yung mga nutrients, hindi na-absorb ng maayos kung ano yung dapat na i-absorb ng body, or syempre depende rin yun sa kinakain mo. So, metabolisms, could be anabolism, or categorize into anabolism or catabolism. When we say anabolism, it is the synthesis of all compounds needed by the cells. When you say catabolism, the breakdown of molecules to obtain energy. So, yan ang ibig sabihin ng catabolism. So, para mas maintindihan ninyo, ito yung catabolism, no? Diba? Breakdown of larger molecules. So, binibreakdown siya into smaller para ma-absorb ng body at magamit into energy. Diba? So, ito namang anabolism, sinesynthesis niya yung larger molecule. So, yan pinagkaiba ng catabolism. Catabolism, to cut siguro para mas madaling tandaan. So, kinakat niya yung larger molecule. So, para mas madali mong tandaan, ano nga ba pinagkaiba ng catabolism from the word cut? Bini-breakdown niya. Cut, breakdown. A smile is happiness. You'll find right under your nose. Nandyan lang daw yan. So, let us proceed to the history of nutrition. So, mamang haba naman pala ng discussion yun, no? Of course, kailangan din natin itong balikan para magkaroon kayo ng overview. So, not in the, number 1, ito yun, naturalistic era during the 400 BC or 1750 AD. Okay? As early as before the birth of Christ, attempts has already been made to demonstrate the effect of food and exercise to one's health. Actually, if you really read the Bible, okay, yung Genesis pa lang, no, yung sa Old Testament pa lang, so mababasa mo rin doon talaga yung mga food. Yung mga food na, kaya nga, sabihin niyo, ano pala si ma'am, no, ibang Catholic din ako, pero pag binabasa mo yung Bible, nakaano rin doon yung mga food na dapat lang natin palang kainin. Nakalagay doon yung mga healthy foods na ito ang dapat natin kainin kasi yung other food na ganito ay marumi siya, ganyan, madumi yung food na yon. So nakalagay na doon. So may study na talaga, no, even si Lord nagbibigay na talaga siya na kung ano ba talaga ang dapat na kainin mong food para maging holy ka or para maging healthy ka. So, the father of medicine is Hippocrates, okay, was the first physician to show an interest in nutrition. Siya talaga yung nagkaroon ng interest ng nutrition. He is considered as the father of medicine. So, 400 BC, okay, a regimen of exercise, diet, massage, and bathing to preserve one's health. So, Hippocrates was the father of medicine during that time. In 1632, he was the first to describe starch under the microscope was Liu Wenho, ang pronunciation. And then, the chemical analytic, during the chemical analytic era, during 1750 to 1900, it was during this period that the chemical studies was conducted, which led to the discoveries of oxygen. So, dito na-discover yung mga oxygen. Ano ba tong oxygen? Ano bang function sa katawan? Carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and nitrogen. Then, in 1610, scurvy could be cured by fresh fruits and vegetable according to Lancaster, diba? Lancaster. Okay. So, yung bang scurvy is, diba? Ito yung vitamin C deficiency. So, pwede naman pa, ang dami, pag binalikan nyo yun, marami ring namatay noon, scurvy, scurvy disease. Pero, na-found out lang na, ang pwede lang palang ibigay, ang pwede lang palang cure, is the fresh fruits and vegetables. O baka naman ganun din pala yung COVID-19 ngayon, diba? No? So, kailangan nating ma-discover yan. Kaya mapag-aralan kung ano ba ang, ano lang pala ang katapat niya, baka ganun din, no? In 1627, air is needed for life and combustion, according to Boyle, the father of chemistry naman, si Boyle. And 1760, studied animal respiration, introduced the balance, calorimeter, and thermometer for nutrition. Si Antoine Lavoisier was the father of nutrition. Siya naman yung nag-introduce ng balance, yung calorimeter, thermometer for nutrition work. In 1880, si Mulder naman yung first to use the word protein. So, dito na nakilala ang word na protein in 1880. In 1803, so, si Liebert, she supported the work of Mulder's and established the use of the modern names. Dito na yung modern names ng protein, ng fat, and carbohydrates. So, sila yung mga taong may kinalaman sa nutrition. In 1844, sugar is present in the blood according to Schmid. Yan, hirap i-pronounce ng kanyang word, ng kanyang name. So, sugar daw is present in blood. So, dito na natin nakikita yung, dito na nalalaman na kapag mataas ang sugar sa blood, so nalalaman natin nag-lead siya into illness, which we call the diabetes. In 1856, glycogen is formed and stored in the liver. So, nakita na Bernard yan through his study, no? Na yung glycogen pala, na-form, na-store siya sa liver. Okay. In 1881, Linus naman, who is the father of vitamins, okay, na-found out na yung other substances are needed in addition to fat, protein, carbohydrates, water, and salts called vitamins. So, dito na nakilala in 1881 na aside from yung sinasabi natin kaninang macronutrients na mga fat, proteins, kailangan din pala ng body yung vitamins. Kaya si Linus ay tinawag na father of vitamins. Okay. During the biological era, so ito na yung 1900 to 1955. So, pinanganak na yung mga lola nyo dito. So, more discoveries of factors with vitamin-like properties were conducted, were discovered. Okay, so emphasis was made on the study of the relationship existing between nutrients under biological rules. So, marami na yung mga study na ginawa in the 1900s. This period focused on the improvement of nutritional status. So, ito na yung ngayon natin na mga nutritional status. In 1912, si Funk gave the word vitamin. So, sumunod din siya doon kay Linus, no? Yung the father of vitamin. In 1935, W.C. Rose, he worked on proteins and amino acids and he identified the last EAA or mga amino acids, threonine. Yan. In 1900 to 1955 was the era of vitamins. So, dito na pumapasok yung vitamins. So, kaya, dito na nag-start yung vitamins. Binibigay na siya, no? Pinapainom. Supplements, di ba? So, during the cellular era, 1955 to 1980, pinanganak na yung mga ate nyo dito. Yung nanay nyo, yung ate nyo, ayan, nandyan na. So, characterized by many discoveries in the field of cellular metabolism. So, nakafocus na sa cellular metabolism. Use sophisticated equipment like radioactive isotopes, electron, microscope, and microtechnical techniques. So, naging tumataas ng technology, no, para makita yung nutrients. Molecular biology era, 1980 to present. It's the genetic engineering or biotechnology. So, gumagamit na ng mga biotechnology, no? So, improvement of livestock. So, dito na yung pumapasok yung mga livestock natin para mapaparami kung ano yung mga binibigay pa sa kanila. Diba? Nagkakaroon halimbawa sa mga manok, sa mga baboy, kung ano yung binibigay ng mga vitamins sa kanila. Improve resistance against diseases of crops, mga fertilizers. Improve quality of food. Okay, masok na dito. Oh, sorry. Biotechnology also applied in the production of hormones and enzymes by bacteria. So, dito na yung bacterial production of insulin, correct genetic defects in human, no? Ito na yung mga nakikita ngayon, 'di ba? May mga study na talaga na parang ang dami ng study kung paano nila mapapaano yung buhay ng tao, paano labanan ang mga diseases, ano yung mga nutrients na kailangan, pumapasok na dito yung may mga ano na nga, yung mga scientists na yung genetic defects pa lang doon pa lang makikita na, so mabibigyan na kaagad ng gamot or para hindi na siya, para matanggal yun kung ito yung mga usual na sakit ng kanilang pamilya. So, pinag-aaralan na even the cancer kung paano ma-stop or paano ma-cure. Yan. So, let's have a pop quiz. Okay? Who is the father of nutrition? Kung nakinig kayo kanina. Okay, do not move on the next slides. Try to recall if you are really listening or watching my video. Okay, so the answer is Antoine Lavoisier. Okay, so siya ang father of nutrition. So if you got the right answer, then very good. Clap your hands. So, the historical highlights of nutrition in the Philippines naman. So, kanina sa buong mundo yun, ngayon sa Pilipinas naman tayo. So, in 1903 to 1923, Musgrave, Richmond, Aaron, Gibbs, yan, sila mga yan. So, Santos, etc. made the studies on berry and proximate analysis of food. Pinag-aaralan nila yan, berry na yan. Fleming, Santos, and others in 1923 worked on basal metabolic standards for Filipino students. So, nagkaroon din siya ng research about metabolic standards ng mga Filipino students. In 1923 to 1943, Adriano has his first work on calcium or calcium content of local foods in 1925. So, inaral nila yung calcium. Meron ba yun sa local foods? May mga studies na rin sa Philippines. So, F.O. Santos, considered father of the nutrition in the Philippines. Okay. The first table of RDA or recommended dietary allowance was done in 1941 by Concepcion, Himano, and Gutierrez. And further, it was revised in 1947 by Santos and Concepcion with the inclusion of niacin and riboflavin. So, sinama na nila sa recommended or sa RDA. From World War II to 1960, The Philippine Institute of Nutrition, or PIN, was created in 1947 and undertook researches in foods and nutritional biochemistry, basic and applied nutrition, and nutrition surveys. PIN was transferred to DOH in 1958 through RA 2067 and was placed under National Science Development Board, or NSDB, and renamed Food and Nutrition Research Center. So, nagbago ang pangalan niya, FNRC na. So, Juan Salcedo and co-workers made series of experiments on berry in 1947. So, RA 832, known as the Rice Enrichment Law. So, dito na nakikita yung Rice Enrichment Law sa RA 832. So, President Quirino established the Food Commission in 1951. So, the Nutrition Foundation of the Philippines, which is a private agency, was organized in 1959. So, what is the objective of NFP? Is to helping to improve the health of the people through assistance programs on food and nutrition designed to complement and supplement governmental efforts. So, in 1960 to 1980, so, the National Coordinating Council on Foods and Nutrition was organized under the initiative of Dr. Conrado Pascual. This marked the formal beginning of the coordination of applied nutrition, nutrition research, as well as food research activities. So, nagkakaroon na ng mga food researches. The Department of Health on July 1, 1960, established the national program, which is now Nutrition Service, and through its nutrition mothercraft centers, helped prevent malnutrition among the preschoolers. The malnutrition ward was first established by Dr. F. Solon at Southern Islands Hospital in Cebu in 1968 and is now made a part of their service in almost all government hospitals. So, National Nutrition Council was established on June 25, 1974. So, the Philippine Nutrition Program designated July as our Nutrition Month. So, kaya nagkakaroon na ng Nutrition Month every July. So, diba, dito yung nag-ano kayo, no, kung elementary kayo, so, yung mga gulay, yung mga vegetables, so, nagko-costume kayo ng ganun, or, yan, nagluluto kayo, pinagluluto kayo ng mga teachers ninyo, ng mga nutritious foods. Nutritional Center of the Philippines was established on July 2, 1974 by Mrs. Imelda Marcos. Okay. In 1956, PD 1956 provides a barangay nutrition scholar or BNS for every barangay who will be responsible for nutrition activities within the barangay. Okay. So, PD 1286, the Nutrition Dietetics Decree of 1977 regulating the practice of nutritionists, dietitians, and setting requirements for nutritionist, dietitian, requirements for hospitals and nutrition agencies. So, ito yung mga highlights ng ating history, no, sa nutrition. So, in 1981 to present, in October 1993, the first National Micronutrient Day was conducted, providing vitamin A, iron, and iodine supplements to at-risk population groups. So, namimigay sila noon. In 1993, the Philippine Plan of Action for Nutrition for 1993 to 1998 was drafted and launched in consonance with the global call to eradicate malnutrition made during the International Conference on Nutrition in Rome in December 1992. Social, no? Napunta na sila sa Rome. In 1995, Republic Act 8172, an act promoting salt iodization nationwide. So, kasi marami nang nagkakaroon ng iodine deficiency, diba? Designated the NNC together with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and a representative each from the medical profession and the salt industry as the Salt Iodization Advisory Board. The SIAB is the policy-making body and coordinating body for the Salt Iodization Program. In 2000, the Republic Act 8979, Food Fortification Act of 2000 designated the NNC as advisory body of food fortification. As such, the NNC shall set policies on food fortification. Example, what foods to be fortified with what micronutrients. So, yung mga, usually yung fortification, ano ba yung fortification? Yung mga food natin, lalo na yung mga processed food. Kasi yung processed food, during the process, kaya nga processed food, no? Dumaan siya sa proseso, natatanggal yung kanilang vitamins. So, kailangan i-fortify nila. So, ibabalik. Lalagyan ulit siya ng vitamins para yung necessary sa body. So, food fortification. In 2003, NEDA Social Development Committee through Resolution Number 1 Series 2003 expand the function and composition of the Multi-Sectoral Committee on International Human Development Commitments, designated the NNC as lead agency for fighting hunger and malnutrition. In 2002, the Executive Order Number 472 named the Department of Health as the chair of NNC with the DA and DILG as vice chairs. It also called the NNC to reorient its operations to be more client-oriented and to prioritize addressing hunger and malnutrition, and authorize NNC to generate and mobilize resources. Kasi para ma-address yung problem ng ating bansa. So, the pop quiz, another pop quiz. So, pause for a while. And then, who is the father of nutrition in the Philippines? If you try to listen, mamandami po kasi nung history. So, yung mga history, yung pinaka-main lang, talaga yung parang pinakatandaan nyo doon. So, dinaanan lang natin yun just for you to have a background or overview of what happened. So, what is the development? How does nutrient exist? Yung nutrition, paano siya nag-exist? Ano yung mga studies na ginawa? Ano yung mga programs? Diba? So, yun lang yun. So, who is the father of nutrition in the Philippines? Okay, the right answer is F.O. Santos. Ano ba yung F.O.? Okay. So, scope of nutrition as a science. So, the basic or fundamental nutrition. Okay, ito yung scope. It is a study of physiologic needs in terms of specific needs or specific nutrients na kailangan ng isang individual. So, another one, nutrition of growth and development or child and maternal nutrition is a study of nutritional principles and application throughout the life cycle, or it could be concentrated on infancy, childhood, pregnancy, and lactation. So, pag-aaralan natin, what are the needs of this individual? Mga bata, childhood, pregnancy. Kasi ito talaga yung mas kailangan nila or mas yung needs nila, yung nutrient value na kailangan nila, mas kailangan ng dagdag pa kasi kailangan for growth. And then, the medical nutrition therapy or MNT. It is a therapeutic or clinical or medical nutrition that deals with the adequacy of nutrition intake and diet to meet the individual's needs under pathological conditions. So, ito naman yung, kung kanina ang focus natin is yung mga buntis, dito naman yung may mga illness. Okay. Community nutrition or public health nutrition. So, it refers to ways and means of supplying adequate diets in a group of people, starting with a family or community, and it could be nationwide. So, titingnan din natin dito sa scope na to, no? So, titingnan nyo, halimbawa, lalo na pagdating nyo ng, actually, dapat ngayon, second year na kayo, ito na dapat na may community kayo. So, magkakaroon na kayo ng community assessment. So, or family assessment. Kung ano yung needs ng community, kung ano yung needs ng family, kung ano yung nutritional needs nila. Okay, so ano yung practice sa lugar na yung comparative nutrition is the study of specific differences in their nutritional needs. It could be human nutrition, animal nutrition, and plant nutrition. So, i-compare natin kasi as I mentioned earlier, iba-iba ang nutritional needs ng human, iba ang nutritional needs ng animal, iba ang nutritional needs ng plant. So, hindi pwedeng kung ano yung kailangan mo, kung ano yung vitamins ng human, hindi siya same dito sa animal and plant. So, other areas of specialization includes nutrition in dentistry, geriatric nutrition, and pediatric nutrition. So, dapat ito rin ipag-aralan kung ano ang mga needs ng mga yun. So, summary of basic concepts in nutrition. So, okay. Number 1, adequate nutrition is essential to good health. Of course, ulit-ulit naman tayo dyan. So, good nutrition gives a picture of a person with normal weight, height, and body frame for his age. So, makikita natin doon, pag kinuha natin yung kanyang weight, yung height, kung ito pa ba yung normal sa kanya. He has firm, strong muscles and are well-formed and clear, pinkish yung skin, and healthy, glossy hair. So, pag dry na pala yung hair mo, no? So, may kulang ka na rin na vitamins. Has good appetite and digestion, ability to concentrate, mental alertness, emotional stability, vitality and vigor, endurance to certain stresses, efficient work performance, resistance to infection, and wholesome personality. So, yun yung kapag meron siyang adequate nutrition. So, nakita nyo, may mga muscle siya, no? Nakakain niya ng mga yan. So, ang ganda kung yan yung lahat ng kinakain mo, more of vegetables. So, of course, pag maganda ang iyong nutrition, pag maganda ang iyong nutrition or tama ang iyong nutrition, maganda ang iyong health. So, pag maganda ang iyong health, so happy din ang iyong life. So, the nutrients in our body are in dynamic equilibrium. So, dapat balance. So, the nutrients must be in metabolic balance. A disturbance of one nutrient, of course, will affect the other. Kung may kulang ka sa nutrient na, lalo na sa essential nutrients, ay talagang maka-apekto sa iba or more than over naman. So, lahat ng sobra, lahat ng kulang ay may effect talaga or masama. Okay, dietary intake and nutrient needs should be individualized. So, kahit magka-age tayo or ganyan, so iba-iba pa rin ang needs natin or kahit parehong male, parehong female, parehong bata, iba-iba pa rin ang needs. That's why, kailangan nyo pa rin yung anthropometric measurement, kailangan nyo pa rin kunin yun. Kailangan nyo pa rin i-measure ang kanyang weight, ang kanyang height, body belt. So, kukuhanin pa rin yun para ma-individualize yung pagbigay ninyo ng meal plan later. So, variations occurs because of these factors. Ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Bakit? Magkaiba-iba. So, dahil nga yung age, yung ginagawa natin. So, halimbawa, magka-same age na sila, pero same 40 years old, pero yung trabaho niya, lagi lang naman siyang nakaupo sa office, yung isa laging naglalakad sa field. So, magkaiba pa rin yung activity, magkaiba pa rin yung nutritional requirement. Diba? Yung body size, exercise, state of health, physiological stresses like growth, baka buntis, nagpapadede, or may pathological disorders, convalescence, surgery, etc. Okay? Nutrient content in food is variable. So, whatever is present in natural food should be served by scientific preparation and service. Ito yung sinasabi natin, no, na ways of improving food quality. Ito yung food fortification natin. Na-mention nga natin dito sa Pilipinas na nagkaroon pa tayo ng Republic Act for that. Addition of amino acids level to a specific food product. So, halimbawa, ito yung mga processed foods, ito yung, diba minsan napapansin ninyo doon sa mga simpleng chichirya na binibili nyo. So, minsan, or biscuits, minsan makikita mo doon kung ano yung mga fortified or gatas, even yung milk, diba? Fortified, blah, blah, blah. So, may nakalagay doon. So, ibig sabihin, nag-a-add sila doon ng vitamins. Enrichment, it is the method of restoring what was lost during food processing. Kasi as I mentioned earlier, habang pinaprocess yung food, natatanggal yung mga vitamins. So, kailangan i-enrich ulit, i-restore ulit kung ano yung mga vitamins na nawala during processing. Supplementation, addition of protein-rich food to a regular diet. Okay? Complementation, addition of amino acid that is lacking in protein source. Magdadagdag lang. Human requirements for nutrients are known for some and have to be determined as yet for others. So, minsan, alam mo naman talaga kung ano yung requirements ng katawan mo or yung iba, hindi talaga alam. So, kailangan talaga nila yung help from dietitians or hindi lang dietitians, ikaw na nurse na nag-aral at napag-aralan mo ang nutrition. Alam mo how to compute the requirements of your patient. So, ano yung requirements na kailangan ng pasyente mo. So, pwede mong bigyan din. The most studies are needed to refine measurement techniques to determine minimum levels of nutrients needs, to assess nutriture, and to study the essentiality of a nutrient for men. So, number 6, an adequate diet is the foundation of good nutrition, and it should consist of a wide variety of foods. So, variety, iba-iba. So, this is very self-explanatory. Adequate diet conveys 3 principles: moderation, variety, and balance. Pag sinabi natin moderation, of course, tama lang yung amount, right time na kumain ka ng food, variety, balance, yung balance dapat tama yung computation mo, yung yung protein, yung carbohydrates, diba? Meron tayo kaninang 60-20-20 rule. So, dapat balance yan. And number 7, the physiological functions of food are attributed to the rules of the nutrients. Carbohydrates, it provides energy. Protein, build and repair body tissues. Fat, regulate body processes. So, dinaanan na natin kanina. Again, this is just a summary of the basic concepts in nutrition that we discussed a while ago. Malnutrition is brought about by a faulty diet and or by conditioning factors like hereditary, infections, ingestion of certain drugs, and parasitism. Diba? Pag may parasites yung isang tao, so affected din ang kanyang nutrition. So, nutrition education, abundant food supply, and use of various resources are needed to improve nutritional status of a population. The study of nutrition is interrelated with allied arts and sciences, food science and technology, nursing and medical fields, behavioral sciences, and etc. So, you have to eat right to be healthy. Okay, so that ends my presentation. So, you can check my yung simpleng PowerPoint lang later. So, God bless you all. Thank you.